our horror murder mystery opens actually on a shot of Veronica Vanderbilt's face. Kind of pan out. She's dressed in nurse's scrubs and walking down a hallway in a hospital, kind of darkened, eerie looking. Lights are flickering, and a patient runs up to her and is like, nurse, you have to help me. There's something going on here. And Veronica says, help you? I only help myself. And we see her smile and vampire fangs extend from her teeth. And we zoom out and see that this is a movie playing on the TV in Katie Kirk's LA apartment, a little studio apartment, very cluttered. And the movie, of course, is Night Nurse. And Katie is there practicing her jujitsu moves while also saying all of the lines of the movie along with it when her phone buzzes from across the room, and she goes and picks it up and sees a text message. We don't see who it's from, but it says, I need you back on set right away.
Violet is in a dressing room of sorts, sort of powdering her face. Post-interview, just making sure she looks as presentable as possible for when she eventually has to go out onto the street and be barraged by paparazzi. The drama happening in her family, it's crazy. And talking with her dad on the phone, just being like, yes, daddy, I did the most I could to cover Veronica's ass, but this movie, you can't say it's good. I did the best I could in it, but it's just not good.
Brock is settling into his crutches as he gets ready to go out on stage for his interview. Veronica went right before him, and now it's his turn. He's rehearsing his lines. They're not set in stone lines, but he's trying to be oh yeah, the horse just went crazy, and yeah, I'm out for a minute, but man, it was my best acting of my whole career, I think. And he's just trying to get himself psyched up to really pump up this movie, because he doesn't want his career to end because of this crazy thing that happened to him. So he's just on the side, making sure his outfit looks good even around the crutches, and yeah, doing vocal warm-ups.
Since they're in Annie's hometown, she has likely wandered around offset a little bit and is just catching up on all of the local latest stuff that goes down, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in this small town, and she's trying to get inspiration for more writing. When she hears about a story that feels a little bit too recent. And she's asking for more details, but nobody seems to have any. She kind of puts it away as a dead lead, but knows that she's going to need to look into it more later, and heads back to her desk and bends back over her writing.
The camera pans over to Matthew sitting at his desk in his home office. You can hear the rain pattering against the windows. The office door shuts as someone leaves, and he just sits there quietly, puts his hands in his face, and just sighs deeply before shaking his head and sitting up. The phone rings. He quickly answers it, holds it to his ear, and his whole countenance drops after just a couple seconds. The call doesn't last long. He quickly puts it down, begins to stand up and move over to grab his coat before leaving the room.
Hello and welcome back to Scream Queen. This is Scream Queen 2, Love is Murder. We have all of our usual suspects back today. I am Hubbard, and with us today are Chloe, Ian, Pan, and Megan, reprising all of our roles from the first episode of Scream Queen.
Queens.
Queen.
For Queens.
Ka-chow.
our very fun game of For the Queen, which we liked so much that we just had to keep going. Full disclosure, I have issues with letting stories go. Maybe that's true of like everybody who plays these sorts of games. Also, we just had all of those notes that seemed like it was leading towards something in that game, and I loved our ending, but we needed a little bit more. So today we are playing Noirlandia by Evan Rowland, a game of noir murder mystery. None of us here have played this game before, so forgive us, Evan, I guess, if we totally ruin your game. But I think we got a handle on it. I think we're going to have fun. Our first steps here are a little bit of world building. One of the central things, and the first thing that we need to do, is figure out the city. So Noirlandia is always centered in a city that can be like super weird or really normal or whatever. I was thinking that I would propose that our city could be Cody, Montana, but would it be interesting if our city was like the movie or the movie set? I guess an interpretation of the term city. Like, what seems interesting?
I'm all for it.
Yeah. I think that's a
I'm down.
vibe.
And then one of the things that happens in the game is that parts of the city like start going bad, and in the epilogue we find out if the city has improved or if it's gotten worse. So I thought that might be a place to figure out sort of what happens with this movie if like another director steps in or what. We'll kind of
Whatever
see when
happened.
that. Yeah, we'll let the game kind of decide that. So the first thing to do is I need someone to roll a six-sided dice. Six-sided die.
I can do it. 6.
All right.
Nice.
So this is determining our city's form of corruption.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
And the 6 is apathy. So our
Ooh.
city, this makes so much sense. Our city or our movie set or our movie production is corrupted by apathy. Now we will kind of take turns answering a few questions about the city. These are the big questions. And I'm just going to ask them, and whoever wants to answer can answer. But we'll kind of take turns answering these. So, how are the city's people unlike us?
Maybe all of the crew and stuff are local and we're all outsiders. Like we were all brought in for this movie, but like the crew, the cameras are all rented from the city, the carpenters were all hired and built the set from stuff in town. Like it wasn't we didn't bring the only people from outside of this small area is us.
Veronica wanted to do a real local vibe.
Interesting.
She also didn't want like all of Hollywood to know her movie, right? She was doing it all in secret, real hush hush. So the less Hollywood involvement of it, the better.
True.
Interesting. So there are actors. I mean, I guess there are at least a few actors who are Hollywood folks.
Yeah, I think we established at least it was Violet, Brock, and then Violet's sort of like fling/boyfriend, Eric.
Yep.
Eric, yeah.
If this is an out in the woods style movie, I could see a reason why there wouldn't be a lot of like background extras and whatnot, especially if our scenes were set out in the woods.
Yeah.
All right. What do the buildings look like?
Well, from what it sounds like, we're talking about being in the woods more. So there isn't so many buildings, but there are a lot of like tents where like a lot of the film equipment is being held and like protected by the elements.
Or trailers.
There might be like an outhouse or two kind of deal.
It could be a lot of like RVs, like trailer parks, like we set up in a trailer park outside of town. Because I could see why we would need like some place solid to store gear and equipment.
Yeah, I do like the idea of a trailer park. It's also just a very good place for horror movies to be filmed.
Yeah. I just looked up Cody, Wyoming, because that's where we said this is taking place. And it's definitely not woods. It's like a little bit. Well, some of the pictures are like an Old West vibe, but like
Oh yeah, I
That kind of-
remember that.
mountains in the distance.
That kind of fits the trailer park vibe a little bit better, though. If it's
Yeah.
more like country cowfolk.
And then like a little bit of modern town as well. Chloe, is this like a place that you know? I know you like are the one who said Cody, Wyoming.
I have stayed there
Okay.
like for one night and I barely slept. Like the vibes were it was just creepy to me.
Okay.
Apologies to anyone who may be listening to this from Cody, Wyoming.
They know.
Guys, if you know someone from Cody, Wyoming, share this with them.
Or don't.
You may be entitled to compensation.
Okay, next question. How did the corruption take hold? And the corruption, again, is apathy.
Apathy.
I feel like after all the press came down on us real hard, I feel like it made it hard for everybody to do their jobs.
Yeah, I mean, also just, I think even going into this film, so many people were like adamantly going to be like, this is going to suck. That it's just like, okay, let us just get through this job, make Veronica happy, and then we can finally go back to our lives. So, like, I think it's also just a case of there's plenty of people who are just doing this to get it done more so because they're as passionate about it as Veronica is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, was this a big deal for the locals since this is, like, employing people? Like, was there a point when everybody was really excited?
I think, yeah. Like, Cody is definitely a small town, and, like, that amount of money rolling in would be pretty great for everybody involved.
Oh, true. Yeah, because it could be like a lot of people's like big breaks, but like I think the press definitely had a play in why people are just like, okay, this may not be as fun as we thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They're like, we're putting a ton of work into this and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
After the press showed up, did Big Daddy Vanderbilt come down?
Ooh. There's a chance he could have. Especially like if the entire press is like on Veronica's butt for like this being an awful production. I mean, Violet and Brock can only do so much to like make things better and assuage the situation. So it could have just been a case of like, final straw, Daddy Vanderbilt comes to town.
It might be a matter of like, how well can Matthew keep him away? Because I think
that's what I was
where
thinking.
the point of contact would be.
Because like as Matthew's down there, he probably wouldn't come down because he's just like, yo, Matthew, deal with it.
True.
Yeah. Or like, how bad is it?
Yeah. That's like a last case scenario kind of thing for Daddy Vanderbilt to actually get involved.
To be fair, if Veronica is dead on set, I'm sure he'd come down for that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We'll deal with that in a few minutes. Okay, last question. What laws do the people live by?
I want to say call times, but
Don't mess with the queen.
that's a good one.
Queen's word is law.
Oh. Okay, so they're like dedicated?
I don't know, either dedicated or bullied.
Oh.
I mean, we know she has a pretty intense personality.
Yeah.
And fandom.
True.
I like it. It's like whatever she says goes.
Mm-hmm.
She is the queen after all.
Yeah.
And the local
And we
people
all
would stick
love
with
her.
it too. Yes, we all love her. Well,
Okay. Moving forward, the city is divided into 4 districts: downtown, Skid Row, the outskirts, and the upper crust. Um, we are going to define what these things are. So for each one, we answer the question, what structures define this district? Or I guess more generally, just like what is each of the districts? How do these kind of terms fit in with the movie set? And then on our murder board, each of those districts is up in the corner, and then we can change like the wording there to say like what it actually is. So like I think for downtown, I would say it's the main place where all of the action happens. Like there's a warehouse, an old warehouse, where they have some sound stages set up, where all of the camera equipment is stored, and it's kind of where everybody is working.
outskirts could be the off-site shoots. So like when they have to go horse riding out in like the wilds, when they have to go to a scene like on a cliff face, when they have to go into town.
You're thinking like a whole variety of places there?
It could be the blanket. It could cover just when we had to shoot. Well, maybe there's like 3 specific places she had us shooting that weren't on the main base, so we didn't have set up like stages or sets for it, but it was off-site in the area shooting. So like for the horseback riding and maybe some other scenes in the area.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like cabin scenes or stuff like that.
Right. Cool. You want to just type that in where outskirts is.
Sure.
And there is a suit of cards associated with each of these, so leave the spade there.
Oh, dang. Here, okay.
Or not.
I was like just going for it and meant to not do that.
Yeah. Anybody have an idea for one of the other districts?
I think the upper crust could either be like sort of like the actors' trailers, or if there's like a hotel that we're all being held up in for our time here.
Yeah, it's like the makeup trailers and the where we sleep and that stuff.
That makes sense.
Do you think it would be trailers or hotel? Or something else?
I like the idea of it being a hotel just because it definitively makes it much nicer than anywhere else because it's like an actual building with like nice accommodations.
So like in the in-town hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm imagining like one of those like old hotel that's like been there for a long time that like used to be a whorehouse or something like that. That sort of vibe where it's like really fancy but has a seedy past, or maybe that's just what they tell people.
Old but grand.
Yeah. How about Skid Row? If Pan or Chloe, if you have an idea. Skid Row is kind of the one I was really not sure about.
Well, if we have a soundstage and we have the off-shooting scenes, there has to be a place where we keep costumes and props and like that kind of stuff. Where all the extras sit in a tent for hours until they don't do anything that day.
So is this like the tent town kind of thing?
Yeah, Tent Town. Like that. That's a great name.
That's cool.
Many people disappear in Tent Town every day. Usually it's just because of the makeup department, but
They took a nap in the costumes tent.
wake up someone else.
So that's our locations. Once we get to our characters, you'll have a district that you're associated with as well, but we can deal with that when we get there. And our clues are going to be associated with those as well. What are we calling our city? Or Is it the title of the movie?
Probably.
What's the title of the movie?
I feel
it
like
a
that's the
title?
one big detail that we did not figure out last time.
We
No, we
didn't.
I
didn't.
agree.
We definitely didn't.
Because it was supposed to be this like romantic horror movie.
Uh-huh.
But with like slapstick comedy in it that we threw in.
Yeah.
And now there's Western elements and horses.
Yes.
It's gonna be so good. What did Annie name her script? Her screenplay.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, you're. Ah.
Or does anybody have an idea? Is it Love is Murder?
That's pretty
Oh.
good.
That's actually good.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go with
You
it.
named it
So our-
without knowing it.
Yeah.
I
Yo,
did,
we
yeah.
planned it already. This
We
is part
did.
of the plan.
Yep.
We didn't forget.
All right. So that is our town. Love is Murder. Type that up at the top of the board. And wow, tiny text.
I'm glad you thought of something, Ev, because I was just gonna say surgery sugar too as a joke.
That'd be good too.
My brain instantly went horses hostility, but then I couldn't think of a third H. So
There we go.
Horse.
Town of Love is Murder. All right. So our next thing is our characters. Luckily, we already all have characters, so we don't have to do very much here. But we all do need to have a district where we operate.
I think Brock's most associated with the off-site shoots because
Yeah.
the last place he was seen was being kicked by a horse. So seems like he was doing a lot of stunt work, a lot of taking his shirt off. Feels like outside work.
But those make sense. And I am just going to put the suit of the space next to your little character photo over there so you can remember it.
Cute.
It has a bearing on things. I think Katie is probably the warehouse soundstage. I can imagine that's where she spent a lot of time hustling around and like doing work.
That's where the office is.
Yeah.
Matthew, he would be either in the hotel or the tent tower. Either that or hotel or soundstage.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine where he would keep his office.
Yeah, it's a good question.
I like the idea. Let's say that it would be in like the warehouse, that he has a trailer like on site, because then he had to come into town every time he needed to speak something important. Veronica.
Oh yeah, I remember he wasn't like allowed to just stop by.
Yeah, because we all just collectively decided we didn't like him.
Let's put him in the tent town then.
Okay.
Because it makes sense for him to have an office somewhere in tent town.
Cool.
For Violet, I'm a little tied because it makes sense that she would be living in the in-town hotel.
Mhm.
But also, given that she's the leading lady in this film, she could be either at the warehouse or with Brock on the off-site shoot scenes.
Yeah.
Though I'm thinking maybe in terms of just having variety, let's put her in the hotel.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense that she would at least like be the person who's most familiar with the hotel.
She's not gonna be like talking to the peasants, the poor people outside of work.
That's fair.
Annie's in tent town. She probably knows people who are extras because she is from this town.
Oh,
So she probably like knows people who are extras and understand. And she's not too happy about Matthew being stationed there either.
Yeah.
Look, that's where I was told to park my trailer. I don't want to be here either.
Great. We understand each other.
All right. So we have our places where we operate. The next part is choosing a principle that guides you. You can roll a die for this, but again, we know who our characters are. So The principles are never harm another, live always with dignity, tell no lie, never reveal my true self, justice must be done, and never betray my own. For Katie, I chose justice must be done.
I think there's only one that has to go to Matthew, which would be never reveal your true self.
Ooh.
Out of all
Yeah.
of them, that's the only one that seems to fit what we built.
Yeah, I think for Violet, we kind of established that, like, despite how much harm Veronica has done for her, she's just, like, constantly, like, on her side. Like, family's the most important. So I think never betray my own is the big one for Violet.
That makes sense.
I think we kind of established that Brock was dumb and liked people. So I feel like his never harm another. Because he was real disappointed in Veronica. Like,
So
Just keeps
totally
getting better and better.
land-basting everybody.
Uh-huh. But Annie. We can double these up too. You don't have to have a unique one.
I'd say honestly that hers is probably also never harm another.
Mhm.
Just because, like, she sees everything that goes on and it's like, oh, these poor people have been through enough. Like, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you saint.
I think the only other thing we have to do is our conditions. So you have in the middle of the sheet body, mind, heart, and rep. These are your traits, but they're considered conditions because each one of them is kind of saying like how that aspect of you is doing. So you'll check the top box in one of them that has a little white thing next to it. You'll check the one in one of them that has a little black box next to it, and then your other two are going to be the like second from the top, the middle.
Okay.
So for Katie, I did basically this is the one that's at the top. You get an extra die when you're rolling with that one. And as they go down into those black dice, you're rolling extra dice against your roll. It gets rough. But I gave her body is vigorous, her heart is guilty, and then the other two are just the middle. We didn't get to see Katie doing enough martial arts in for the Queen, so I want to change that in this sequel.
As she deserves.
Alright, I got what I'm going for. For Matthew.
it?
He is able of body, sharp of mind, quiet of heart, and suspected in reputation.
Ooh. I thought his rep would be high.
No one trusts him.
Yeah.
At this point.
Only,
Yeah.
only
I think
really
only
Veronica.
Katie maybe has a good reputation with it. And Veronica still, we established she didn't even like him. But he's just been
Yeah.
around a while.
Yeah.
Okay. I have able of body, conflicted of mind, quiet of heart, and trusted in reputation.
That makes sense. That tracks.
I went with, like, hurt in body, probably just because she carries a lot of stress and, like, things that she doesn't talk about, and it, like, adversely affects her physical well-being. Sharp of
Yeah.
mind, she always knows what's going on. Quiet of heart, and then overlooked as far as rep.
And Brock is hurt of body because he got kicked by a horse.
Yeah.
And calm of mind, quiet of heart, and trusted in his reputation.
Cool.
Track.
And these things are going to steadily drop throughout the game. They very rarely go up, but they
Oh,
will
good.
get worse. And other stuff in there you can fill out whatever you want. Relationship to victim, other relationships. I wrote strung along by Matthew and refused Annie's advice. If there's anything that kind of stands out to you about your character from last time, you can jot that in there, but it's not critical.
Does that include the why, how, who, or is that
No,
different
those are the
mechanics.
things that we're going to figure out. So that's what we're trying to solve, the why, how,
Gotcha.
who. And once or if we fill those all in, then that is the end of the game. So that is solving the murder, which is, I think, a good segue into murder. So we know who our victim is. I guess, unless we suddenly want to go in a very different direction, our victim is Veronica Vanderbilt. Our queen is dead. Speak now if you have other ideas.
Nah, she's definitely dead.
He's so
Otherwise,
dead.
we need 2 cards drawn from the deck. These are our first leads.
We've got 9 of spades, and do jokers count, or should I draw a different one?
No, yeah, draw another one. I don't think there are any jokers.
So our games need to make it so jokers count.
Yeah.
And it's just something wild.
9 of spades and 6 of hearts.
Okay, so the first one is the place, or a place, and the 9 is headquarters, and spades means that it is in the off-site shoot off the shooting space for off-site scenes. So what would be like the headquarters in the off-site? Somebody can just like take ownership of that and say what is that?
Maybe a barn where they like keep the livestock? Because that would
There
be
could
like
be a
potential-
farm.
Yeah, like a farm or something. Yeah.
All right. And that's kind of like just where like the planning and preparation happens.
Yeah, and like they would have clear fields to shoot in, and like the horses would know the land, so it'd be safer to work with them in their home and like all that stuff.
Nice. Okay. Han, will you add a sticky note to our board? And you can put it kind of in that area near the offsite scenes and just type in whatever you want to kind of explain that stuff that you just said. And the second card is a thing. What was the second card again?
6 of hearts.
6 of hearts. 6 on the things is a weapon. And it'll be a weapon associated with the warehouse soundstage.
Ooh.
Does anybody have an idea of what that would be?
It could be a gun loaded with blanks that we were going to use for one of the scenes.
Yeah, there's so many options for weapons in a warehouse.
It's
Uh-huh.
all sorts of stuff.
Me just like going through like all the different film equipment that I know of. Just being like, how could that be used as a weapon?
It's like a stealing light.
Like, yeah, they're heavy, and if they fall real far, you're gonna die.
Mhm.
All right. Is that what we're going with? A light?
Bear trap.
Bear trap?
Bear
Could,
trap.
could literally be anything.
I do like, I mean, not to make it sound like we're pulling a Rust here, but I like the idea of a gun on set being used to perpetrate the murder.
All right.
Well, it hasn't said it's the weapon. It's the weapon, right? It's just a weapon.
A weapon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so somebody drop that in near the warehouse soundstage corner of our board.
I got it.
All right.
Prop gun.
And basically the way our murder board is going to work is that we will add more clues, we'll connect them to each other, and depending on our investigation rolls, we'll be able to figure out one of the questions, the who, why, and how of the murder. We have to have 3 clues connected in order to answer a question, and clues can also be destroyed.
Ooh.
So, I'm guessing that Veronica was found in the farm office, dead. Hey, will somebody draw an X through Veronica in the middle of our murder board for me?
May I make a suggestion for something?
Yeah, absolutely.
She wasn't shot. She was beat with the prop gun.
Ooh. I guess are there any other like details that we want to throw in there right now? Like things that we would know?
Who found her?
Do you think one of us did?
It could have been Eric.
Could
Yeah.
have been Eric.
Ooh. Wait, why do you think Eric?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just throwing him under the bus.
Poor
Maybe we
guy.
can leave that kind of open for now and say like somebody in the cast found her, and if it comes up that that's going to be a clue, then maybe we can piece him in or
Yeah.
someone else.
Whoever we
But, like,
decide.
someone found her dead. I'm guessing this is like in the jurisdiction of the local Cody, Wyoming police at this point to solve the murder, but I think we're going to do a much better job.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to start play. I guess we've been playing all along. We're going to dive into the rest of the game now. How this works is we're going to play out scenes. In every scene, one character will be the protagonist. So whoever's going to like take ownership of the scene, their character is going to be the main focus. Other player characters can be in it as well, and other NPCs also. So I'll just read what it says in the book. The scene will center on the protagonist's action and struggles, and the protagonist will dictate the setup and direction of the action. After some freeform roleplay, the protagonist will attempt something difficult or dangerous, making a challenge roll. At the end of the scene, after role-playing the consequences of the challenge roll and possibly more roleplay, the protagonist will make an investigation roll, which will hopefully bring you closer to answering the questions. So yeah, basically like anybody can jump in and be like, this is the scene that I want to do. There's no like order that we have to go in. We just want to make sure that everybody has had a chance to do a scene before anybody does a second scene, basically. And like the job of the people who are not the protagonist is to kind of like make things complicated, like make suggestions and like say like, oh, the door is locked or whatever, and like kind of add some complexity to it. If you ever want like inspiration, there is you can draw a card from the dramatic hits. There are prompts like there was something in the drink or targeted by a dangerous professional and things like that, just if you want a direction to go. You can always just be like, I want to draw a card and just see like what's randomly going on. I have a scene in mind if nobody else wants to go first, but I am happy to wait on mine also.
I'm down to see what you have in store.
Yeah,
Okay.
take it away.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, and I'm not really sure like how recently Katie got back. I said in that intro thing that someone told her to get back, and I don't know who it was. Me as a player, I don't know who it was. So she's been gone for a while because she basically bailed, left set, started posting videos to the internet, and has been gone. I think that we start this scene. What is Matthew's office in Tent Town like?
It's just like not crazy fancy. Well, I'm blanking on the word. Not a tent, camper trailer. It's bigger than like several other trailers nearby, but it's nice. He's got a nice setup in there, like a desk on the inside. He tries to keep it clean and organized.
he doesn't have like an assistant or anything like that. Or
No,
does
no.
he? Okay. So I think the door to the trailer just like swings open and Katie's there in a bit of a like agitated state. I think we're used to seeing Katie in like professional kind of drab attire, but she's just in like jeans and a t-shirt, still kind of like mousy glasses. And she says, Matthew, you owe me a favor, and I'm calling in on it right now. And I think like a true Veronica Vanderbilt fan would recognize that as a line from one of her movies, but I don't know if Matthew's that like deep into it.
I think he knows a line or two, but I don't know myself one I would respond with.
Yeah, no, this is like a deep
However,
cut.
Yeah.
That's
And what
that's
would-
a classic Francine line.
Yeah.
Was there a character named Matthew in Francine?
No, I think she inserted the name Matthew there. That would be too convenient.
I think Matthew, he looks up because he's kind of used to people bursting in on his work. Looks up, sits back, puts down his pen, whatever he was writing. And what would that be, Mrs. Cook?
I need you to come with me. And
What?
will can we jump like jump cut
Sure.
to where we're going and just roll with it?
Yeah.
Basically, she's called like Matthew, she knows that he was dragging her along and like convincing her to do things and is like pulling on that as social capital here to get him to come along.
Finally wised up. Took her long enough.
Yeah. I think it's like early in the morning, around dawn, so it's kind of like half light out. But we cut to somewhere in the middle of town at the coroner's office, and basically she wants Matthew to distract whoever is like there at the desk so that she can sneak in and gather see what's going on. She wants to solve this, and she wants to know what happened.
I think Matthew is he's a professional. He doesn't want to just do something because someone says he owes him a favor. He's just been acting in the role of business. So he wants business in turn.
All right, what does he want?
Let's see. Now, is this after the movie? Is the movie shoot still going? Is this after things have wind down or ground down?
I think like it was like they were still in the middle of shooting, and she's dead. Like she died yesterday, like
Okay.
last night or something. Like so, like the news has we've just learned about it.
Okay.
And like, I guess as far as everybody's concerned, they're still shooting. Like they have scenes planned to shoot today, and they don't really know what's going on.
Then I think Matthew he's here to save the image. So whatever you find, you bring to him before you bring to anybody else, and you talk to him right away. So yeah, Matthew's happy to help.
Yeah. So what does everybody think we like run into when we walk into the coroner's office in this small town?
I feel like there might be like more security than normal just because a murder happened, but also the fact that it is someone so important, so they like want to keep like not just anybody can go and like see the body kind of thing.
Yeah.
The lady behind the desk is this just like very, very chipper looking, like 90-year-old lady.
Oh no.
Oh, I love her already.
She did it. I know she did it. Yeah, so I think what I laid out to Matthew was that I want him to like distract, and I'm going to try to sneak back. So I'll kind of come in behind him and see what Matthew does. You don't have to roll anything. I'm the only one who rolls here.
Well, Matthew will go up to the lady and engage in a conversation. He wants to see the body. He's her agent. He has people pressuring him to confirm. So he wants to see.
And Veronica's just gonna kind of like slip toward the hallway. And what do y'all think the challenge here is? You said there's more security, so what do I run into as Matthew's keeping this old woman busy?
Maybe there's like a deputy in the hallway. Like there's only a sheriff and a deputy in this town, and they put the deputy in the hallway.
Okay. Do you think this is a situation where I could make a roll to sneak past him or her?
You did
them?
say it was early in the morning, so
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
Okay.
Like still kind of half asleep, waiting for the coffee to come.
Yeah, just kind of like not
Maybe,
paying
like-
attention.
Standing at the coffee maker waiting for it to finish.
That's it. They're waiting for the
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah. So I am gonna roll with body to get past this this person. So here's how this will work. Whoever wants to roll opposition can roll 1d6, and I'm gonna roll 2 because I have 1 point in body. And it's basically, well, we'll see we'll see what the rolls are. But I'm gonna go ahead and roll my 2 over here.
Pan, do you want to roll the opposition since you suggested the deputy?
Okay. And I roll it in the little opposition dice spot.
You could just roll it wherever for this one.
2.
Ooh.
Cool. Okay, so if the protagonist's roll is more than, let me see, is it 2 or more? Or more than 2? Higher. Well, I succeeded. but yeah, okay, so I have to be higher by 2 or more to succeed. If it's not higher than 2, higher by 2 or more, then I fail. But if it's in that like 2 range, you can ask for a bargain, which is going to reduce one of your conditions, but then you succeed. I don't have to do that. I just succeeded.
Woo.
And it's good to succeed because that gives me an extra die to roll on my investigation roll when I do that at the end of the scene.
Nice.
So I think I just kind of slip very quietly past this deputy while his coffee's percolating and continue on down the hallway and just pop open like the big door to the like little, I think it's a pretty small little morgue area. What do you think? Do we go with like there's a gurney out and there's a body just there, or like coolers, or what? What's our vibe here?
I mean, if she was killed the night before, there's a chance that they're still looking it over, so it could just be on the table.
Yeah.
Like covered with a sheet kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
And the room's just a cold room.
Yeah. So I think Katie just like slowly, hesitantly walks over to the table and just takes a really long time before pulling the sheet back to reveal Veronica's cold, motionless face, looking just very serene. Like I just hit pause on one of her movies. I think Katie is just gonna like spend a minute there, just maybe sobbing. I don't know, and then just take a look like at everything around, like objects that have been found at the scene. Just kind of take in everything that there is to see there.
Do we get to know, like, when you investigate, can you investigate, like, her body and see if there's any damage?
Well, how this is going to work is based on my investigation roll. it will determine it'll determine what happens if I find any clues, if I don't find any clues, if I die. So we'll go ahead
And
and
she
do
tripped
that.
and the scalpel just went right in her eye.
What a way to go.
Whoever wants whoever wants to roll the opposition dice, that'll be 3 6-sided dice going in that little opposition box that's there. And the protagonist rolls. I have to choose a condition to roll this with. What do y'all think I'm rolling here?
Well, what is it specifically that you're looking for on her?
I'm just really just looking, just seeing what there is to see. I could
What are the
see this
conditions again?
body, mind, heart, or rep. I could see it being mind. I kind of want to say it's heart just because I have to get I don't know, get through the emotional part of this in order to see anything, though that is my bad die, my bad condition.
I do like the idea of heart though, because I feel like you're a little distraught for it to be mine.
Do it for the
Okay.
drama, M.
Okay, so I have a black die in heart, which means that whoever's rolling the opposition dice will roll 4. Someone can also roll 1 bargain die because I succeeded, and I'm gonna roll 2d6.
I'll do the 4 opposition die.
Okay, make it bad.
4, 5, 2, 1. 4,
Right.
5, 2, 1.
I did good. I got a 6 and a 5. So with the opposition dice, you're gonna put the highest 3 in these 3 little boxes here, and I have to match my dice up to those. So
You
the
wanna be
bargain, I want to be
than the
higher.
opposition? Okay.
Yeah. So you can always only put up 2 dice, even if you roll 3. So you're always gonna fail on 1.
Gotcha.
And it's not necessarily the best thing to do to just knock out the top dice. For one thing, we know that if you fail on a 1, you die. So, but you can look at what the effects of that are. So I think I want to let the 2 go through. The 4 and 5 both just damage a condition. But the 2 turns me into a suspect.
Ooh.
Which I like.
I mean,
So I think that I'm gonna put my 6 with the 5. I'm put my 5 with the 4. So I'm gonna
aren't you already a suspect?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? So I'm gonna become a lead. And also, I succeeded on a 6 and a 5, so I can, on the 5, add a random lead or connection, and on the 6, I can add and connect a new lead. So I want to do the random lead first. So Chloe, will you pull a card for me? And what do you think we want here? A person, a place, or a thing?
I mean, it'd be hard to figure out a place by looking at a body.
Well,
I would
yeah.
think a person or I mean, unless you're Sherlock, it could be the dust on her ankles.
Yeah.
I feel like thing would make a lot of sense if you're looking at her body trying to figure out what happened to it.
Okay. All right, so what's the card?
You got a king of diamonds.
Okay. King is a priceless object. And
Ooh.
diamonds means that it's from the hotel.
Ooh.
Priceless object.
Tucking into that minibar, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's
a
corn
bottle
nut.
of wine somehow on her person.
It's Veronica's Oscar.
Um, maybe like what could it be? Like a piece of jewelry?
It could be something else left in the room from someone who already was there.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not on her
Um,
body, but you notice on the lying on the ground.
oh, like there's a little like collection of what do you call that? Whatever stuff that
That
they've gathered at the crime scene.
oh,
Um,
evident.
evidence is the word. We should know that we're doing a crime game.
Or it could just be something someone dropped that seems really out of place for being in the coroner's office.
Um,
Well, the object is specifically from the hotel.
yeah. Ooh, okay. Got it. I am not going to be able to like. I mean, Katie can't make this connection because she doesn't know about it. But Eric bought an engagement ring. That he had been keeping in the hotel.
Who's this for?
I'm gonna get engaged, you guys.
What? I thought
After
I
I'm
was
done
gonna get
mourning my
engaged.
sister.
Does that mean Eric gets attached to being diamonds or something, or is he left separate still?
He's separate still. It's just the ring.
Okay. Cool.
And I am, well, for one thing, I need to put myself on here. How do I decide what area I go into? Oh, in the district they operate in. So I'm going to add myself. We got a lot of clues out of this. I'm going to add myself over here to the warehouse, and I get to make up another clue also and connect it to something. I am going to say that I'm noticing that the wounds, the way that she was struck, matches a murder from the movie.
Yeah, no wonder you're a suspect.
I think it's from. What is it from? House of Teeth. No, Blood
That does
Loop.
not sound good.
Blood Loop. We used House of Teeth before for something.
We did.
So yeah, and I think I'm going to connect that to Veronica. So I'm going to do a connection line over here. Our first connection. So we need 3 connected leads or clues in order to solve something, and also to roll a 6. But that, I think, is my turn. Why? Oh, okay. So I definitely get caught. I think that's why I'm a suspect.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, so I took way too long just like sitting there and weeping, and I think the deputy, we just see the deputy open the door, and then we can cut to whoever's scene is next.
It's just like, hey, why are you crying so damn loud? Wait, you're not supposed to be in here.
Yeah. So who wants to go?
I'll go. I have an idea. Violet goes to Brock's trailer. She is already adorned very dramatically in all black with like a veil over her face. Utterly distraught, of course.
Of course.
And she's like, Brock, I don't know what to do, but I feel like I need to investigate this. My sister is dead.
Well, I don't know what you could do, Violet. You're not exactly a policeman.
I know, but she's family. I can't just sit here. What if we went to the crime scene? I don't imagine that we'd find much. They've already cleared enough out, but there might be something there.
I hadn't heard. Where did she die?
In some farm office? Off-site somewhere.
Oh, I know where that is.
You do?
Yeah, that's where the horse well broke my leg.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But darling, could you take me?
Oh, of course I'll take you. Let me just tell Eric that where we're going. I'm sure he's worried.
Maybe we'll just keep this between us. I don't want him getting in trouble trying to find me.
Oh, I mean, if you're sure, Violet.
I don't want him fretting too much. Let's just keep it the two of us.
Oh, okay.
We cut to Violet Brock underneath like the crime scene tape. Because broken leg.
Is this like a full leg cast?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right.
If a horse kicks you, it's gonna shatter something. So,
Brock is limping for life. Ultimately,
yeah.
it helps his career, but
Walking up, you see that horse staring at you over the fence.
I won't let it hurt you. Not again.
You. It's just so traumatizing, you know? It's just 1 second I was fine, and the next I was on the ground screaming very loudly.
Wipe your eyes, Brock. We can get through this together.
Okay, thank you, Violet.
I know I'm technically the protagonist in this, but I can't. Can I say the opposition here is us trying to escape this horse?
the horse has a vengeance.
What did Matthew do to this horse to make it like murderous?
It's just a very angry horse.
Yo, what's its name? What's the name of the horse?
It's gotta be like Buttercup or something.
It's definitely Buttercup.
Daffodil.
That's excellent.
Butter.
Buttercup the murderer.
In the end, Buttercup is actually the murderer in the story.
It plays with children, but when it sees Brock, watch out.
And that's what screwed me over in the end, bringing Brock, because
Yeah.
now it just has like a bloodlust for Brock specifically.
That's it.
Wow. Did Matthew like pay the horse trainer to like train the horse to be
He like
angry at Brock?
Who knows?
put a Buttercup's actually a stallion, so they
Mhm.
put another stallion scent into my cologne, and it's still there. So it
You just thought it was
riles the
musty, but no.
horse. No.
Buttercup sees Brock as competition.
Yeah.
If you want to do that as the opposition role, I'm okay with that, but
I just think it'd be really funny.
yeah.
Do it. Can I roll for Buttercup?
Like why do you have to get past the horse to get to, or is it like
we're like
out?
Yeah, like we're like going through like the fields to get to the farmhouse, and Buttercup is currently like out there like grazing. As soon as Buttercup spots Brock, it's all over. We gotta get our move on.
Right. It sounds like a body roll.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're just booking it.
Yeah. So what do you have in body?
I am able, so that
Okay.
is
So that's just going to be
not
one die.
bad, but not good.
Yeah, one die for you and one die for Buttercup.
Let's go, Buttercup. Or actually, no, don't go, Buttercup. I need this to be good.
Oh, it's not good.
Buttercup gets a 6.
Whoa.
6.
Okay. So this is considered a stalemate. So one supporter, one other player will offer you a bargain. If you accept the bargain's conditions, you can treat your roll as a success. If you refuse, your roll is a failure. And a bargain on a challenge roll always has to reduce one of your conditions.
Oh, okay. So one of these has to go down?
Yeah, and it's up to one of us to say what that is.
Okay.
Could it be body and she gets hurt along the way?
Yeah, it seems like body makes sense. Or like
Or
heart,
is your
because
mind?
you have to leave Brock behind.
No, Brock!
No, my other leg.
You have to ditch Brock in a shed along the way.
It's up to you guys.
I love that idea so much.
Poor Brock.
You want to say heart? And you can just take the fail on this and say that, like, I mean, we still get to do an investigation roll at some point. That just means that there's an extra black die being rolled if you fail,
No,
if you choose to fail.
The guilt of leaving Brock behind is just so strong for me that I need to take the bargain.
You're taking it?
I'll take the bargain.
Okay. So you're gonna mark your body down to hurt.
Oh, I thought
Well,
we
is
were
it
going.
body or is it
heart.
heart?
Oh, sorry, heart. Yeah, heart to guilty.
Don't worry, Violet. He only wants me. Save yourself.
I'm sorry, Brock. I'll come back for you.
So yeah, I think like the whole Buttercup maybe like pins Brock down somewhere. Not like physically, but like you get stuck with the horse and
Just stuck inside a shed. The
Yeah.
Buttercup is like patrolling around it, being like, "I know you're gonna come out at some point, and when you do."
The farmer looks out his window. Why is the horse so interested in the outhouse? What is happening?
yeah. So I guess Violet makes it into the farmhouse. And what are you doing there?
I think I'm looking specifically to see if the murderer left anything behind of theirs, to try to get a sense of who did it.
Cool. What do you all think this murder scene looks like?
There's definitely caution tape up around the murder area. I think it's like a farmer's home or like a ranch home. So it's probably a little nice, but there's like a whole area where like cordoned off where the police aren't allowing people.
Probably a lot of like camera equipment like stacked around. Like there's a bunch of extra stuff here too.
Yeah.
Props hanging up and like costumes and things. Like very cluttered. How familiar is Violet like with this place? I know it's not your district, but is this like someplace that Violet like knows what to look for?
I think she's definitely been here before. Like during breaks from shooting, and then like also just like hanging out with her sister. So I feel like she's like generally like pretty familiar.
So if you're just kind of like looking around, that seems like mind to me.
Yeah, it's like perception or investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. And for me, I'm conflicted, so I roll 1 die, or how many?
Oh, you're conflicted. So that's going to add a black die. If you want to set this up to be more in your favor, we could make it like there's somebody there for you to talk to and you could use your rep instead.
Yeah, we kind of established where the deputy would be. Would the sheriff be at the crime scene, maybe?
I like that.
Yeah, that
It's
seems
just-
like a good place for the sheriff to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sheriff is Sheriff Monica LaRue. She doesn't have a double letter name because she's a local.
Yeah, it's very much a Hollywood thing.
Yeah. So I think like probably what do you think, like Violet like comes in through the back door and the sheriff is just there?
Yeah, or like she catches her like on the way out, so it's not like she gets directly into the crime scene, but she can like see it through
Okay.
like the doorway. And so it's just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, officer, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't help myself. Please, is there anything you can tell me about my sister's death?"
Sorry, Miss Vanderbilt. I'm terribly sorry for your loss, but this is a closed crime scene. The investigation is underway. I promise we're doing everything that we can to figure out what happened here, and best place for you to be is back at the hotel right now. I'm sure we'll be wanting to talk to you before long.
Oh, but I promise I won't tell a soul. This will stay directly with me. I need the closure, please.
You want to make your investigation roll and see how that goes?
Yeah. So my rep is actually my good stat. I got trusted. So
Right.
that would
So
be 2 die.
So you'll roll 3 die because you get an extra one for your stat. Somebody can roll 1 bargain die for that success, and then 3 opposition dice, whoever wants to do that.
Okay.
Pretty good.
I got all the even numbers. I got 2, 4, and 6.
Yeah.
I'll roll the 3.
All right.
Second.
I'll do the bargain dice.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay, so
You do great.
the
I
top.
think I can win across the board.
You can't. Well, you can't use all of your dice. Is the thing. You can only use
Right. Okay. Well, I don't want to die.
2. Yeah, the opposition dice. The sheriff just shoots
The
you.
sheriff. Yeah. Okay.
So the opposition dice are 1, 4, and 2. You've got 6, 4, and a 2. You could defeat whichever ones you want to, but you can also think about which of those dice you're playing as far as your hits go. Like your 6 is pretty good because you can just make up a lead. 2 is really good also because you can heal one of your conditions. 4 is kind of basic.
Yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll put the 2 here and I'll put the 6 here. And then I will.
Yeah, you don't want to be a suspect.
Yeah, not for this one. Not yet.
No.
But essentially what I'm going to do is with that 4, I'm basically just going to let it cancel out with the heal a condition.
Right. Yeah, the 4 would damage a condition.
Nothing moves. But okay. I get to plant and connect a new lead.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, it would probably be like based on what the sheriff leaks.
Yeah. And that's up to you what the sheriff leaks. What do you think, or what does everybody think?
I think. Okay. Oh, I got it. Okay. So we're in a farm. So I think what makes sense is I'm gonna add another thing, which will be a lasso.
Ooh.
And that is going to connect to the wounds matching the murder of Bloodloop, because the Bloodloop is from the lasso.
Oh.
Oh, snap.
It was a pun all along.
That's great.
The only movie she ever made with puns.
So the sheriff tells you that like just that there was a lasso there. Or I guess maybe she's like, you chat for a little bit and she's like, well, ma'am, it was the strangest thing. Never seen a murder victim tied up with a lasso and just left there like that. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying it's your sister after all. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Don't worry about it, officer. I appreciate all of the hard work you've been doing. Please, let me buy you a coffee. And we can chat more. I don't know.
Yeah, she probably like offers to like have somebody like escort you back to your hotel or something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody go get Brock out of the shed.
Nah, Brock's just left there. He'll figure it out.
Oh, so officer, my poor coworker is stuck in the shed. Buttercup really doesn't like him.
Help! Help! Help!
I think that scene.
Cool.
I think I have a scene.
All right.
So I think this one could have Katie and it could have Annie. Because I think Matthew, upon returning back to the tent park, he needs to do a little bit of damage control. So he gets all like the higher up employees together, brings them together in like a room or out in there, and just has a meeting letting them know, hey, you can't disclose anything. We're going to be shutting down filming, most likely. Be prepared. And basically just a, hey, here are some non-disclosure agreements you're going to be signing. But he's also looking to see whatever he can figure out from the people in the room.
Oh, I see. Like reading their expressions, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. Trying to see, and if they have any information, he lets them know, hey, bring this to me. We need to be informed. Don't tell anyone about what you've seen. And let me know.
Did Matthew get Katie out of like being in trouble with the deputy?
I don't know if he did. I don't know. I
So I mean, like he
honestly
was
don't
there. It definitely would have like she would have been brought back out. Like, but I mean, if not, then maybe Katie is like being questioned or something like that right now.
Perhaps it's when Katie didn't come back, he just left and was like, "Oh well."
Okay.
Guess
So
I have important things I need to do.
That
That means
sounds
you
like
also
Matthew.
don't have access to the information that Katie got.
Okay, that works. That's fine. He doesn't know.
Okay.
He's gonna try and figure stuff out. He knows he needs to do damage control, so he starts a meeting and then tries to see if he can read the room and pump people for information.
Tent Town?
Tent Town.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think Annie would be there because she's one of the head writers. If Katie wasn't detained, she'd also be there because she was an assistant.
Right. Eric's probably there.
True. I don't know if Mr. Vanderbilt has come into town yet or if it's just me.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen him yet, at least.
Nah. Well, I gotta take care of things before he shows up.
So like in one of the bigger tents, maybe? Like
Yeah.
gathering
I think he pulls everyone
together.
to a bigger tent and is like, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We have some things to discuss. Please turn off your cell phones. I know all of you are confused and concerned with what's going on. We have no answers at the moment. But unfortunately, it's looking like filming will not be continued. He would pause for a second, gauge the room, make sure, see people's faces before continuing.
Yeah. It's we're corrupted by apathy, so there's probably a lot of like yawning and like maybe a quarter of the people just didn't show up today.
There's one guy that claps over in the corner.
Makes a mental note to hunt down those people specifically and talk to them.
Yeah.
There's one person that, despite you saying turn off your phones, is just kind of like playing Candy Crush or something on their phone.
I think if there's enough people distracted, he would get bad. So he just like pauses for a second and then bangs his fist on like the desk in front of him. Listen up, please. and then sees how people react to that.
Annie is just looking you like straight square in the eyes, unflinchingly, because like I'm done with your BS, sir.
This is an important day. It's a confusing day. Now, all our jobs are on the line. I will say that here and now. We can come out of this with our heads above water, but to do that, we need to keep calm and keep quiet. If you know anything or have any questions, please come to me and let me know. You will all be asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement. If you do not, you will be removed from the premises and prosecuted. I say this in the kindest way possible. Don't make a mistake here. I'm sorry that this is happening. It's an unfortunate timing, but it has to be done. Again, if anyone has any questions or if anyone knows anything, please come to me. Thank you. And then he goes to end the meeting.
Do we think the opposition role here is just like keeping or like getting their attention, getting them to actually like
Focus.
listen to you? Yeah. Or is
Yeah,
there
I think
something?
that's-
Are we moving towards something?
I feel like, yeah, just like keeping their attention. And honestly, like if you suspected, maybe just like commanding their respect in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Fair, yeah.
Sadly, that sounds like a rep roll.
Yup.
You know what? That's how it goes.
I could see body since you were like banging on the like table and yelling. I don't know.
No, rep makes more sense.
Right. You're
So it's just one white die, right?
well, you're suspected. Is that you have one
Yeah,
black die? in
I'm
your app? Okay.
suspected.
So yeah, you roll one white die. Whoever's rolling opposition rolls 2 and takes the highest.
I got it.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
And boop. Oh.
Hey. It was so close to being better.
So that's a 6 versus a 2. So yeah, you fail.
Yeah.
There's no bargain for that. So yeah, I think you're like just impotently like shouting at them and they just do not care. Probably like they'll still talk to you, but you don't have them like in your grip the way you wanted to. Probably.
I think he just kind of his posture sets back because he realizes he's not going to get what he wants. So he just resigns himself to forget these guys. He'll deal with it when he has to.
What's Annie's response like seeing that play out?
She's struggling to like not laugh a little bit, seeing somebody who has in the past commanded so much respect out of people, like just from walking in a room, struggle so much with these like little podunk people from her hometown. She's kind of like a little bit self-satisfied almost. Like, yeah, Flounder, go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Annie is like much better positioned to actually like do this thing. So does Matthew still go ahead with like kind of I mean they're still there, so like still like passing out the non-disclosure agreements and trying to get information from them?
I think he resigns himself to he'll do that. These guys aren't listening. He will do it later. There are more important things he could deal with than a bunch of podunk townspeople who won't listen.
Then what's your investigation role going to be?
I guess as he would look to see, with so many people disinterested, if there's anyone who seems surprisingly interested.
Ooh, okay.
And of course, he'd lock onto that person if he found.
Yeah. Do you want to make the roll and then kind of see how that goes?
Sure.
What do you think the condition for that is?
I would like to say mine.
Mind makes sense to me.
Yeah, mine makes sense.
That's your positive one?
Yeah, I got 2 for that one.
Yeah. So you'll roll 3 dice. Opposition rolls 4 because you lost your you failed your challenge,
Failed my
and
mode.
no bargain dice.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Who's rolling
Got
opposition here?
Arena.
I can do that.
It's a 4. 6 is definitely good because you can answer a question here because we've got 3 leads connected. Ooh, maybe.
Oh no. As long as I don't, die.
Well, there's no
It's the
1
high-
there. Yeah, so you'll put
It's
the
the
3
highest ones
highest.
to go there, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And also you can mitigate a tie. So if you wanted to put your 6 forward against that 6, you could break your principal, and that would be considered a win.
Hmm.
I don't know that that's like really a reasonable thing to do right now, but
How many times can you break your principle? Just
twice.
one? Oh, twice.
You can break it twice, and it badly affects your epilogue.
Oh,
I don't want that.
that's
Yeah.
ominous.
Yeah, maybe I do. I don't know. I think I want to beat one of these 5s because I want to get a lead. That's
Yeah.
so. Do I want the 6 or the 3? Oh well, that's gonna be 2 wins on that side either way.
Yeah. There's not anything you can do about that.
Oh well, let's do this. At least I'm winning something.
Yeah. Do you want to deal with your win first or your losses first?
Let's do the win first.
Okay. So you can choose. You can use those 3 leads that we have that are connected. Veronica, the wounds, and the lasso, and you can answer a question. Or you can create and connect a new lead.
I don't think I would get enough information from this situation to answer the question, so I'll create a lead.
And that is whatever and wherever you want.
Whatever and wherever. Do I attach a person to it or just create whatever I want?
Whatever you want. I mean, the lead could be a person, or it could be like an object. It could be whatever.
Okay. I think as he looks out on the crowd, one person looks back at him, and as soon as they lock eyes, immediately looks away. And it would be someone from like the storage department. So I could connect that. I'll just connect that to the warehouse. Or do I connect it to warehouse, or do I connect it to something else here?
You wouldn't connect it to a district. You'll connect it to another one of the leads.
Okay.
And you're also going to end up destroying one of these leads too.
Yo, let's make it spicy. I look over and I see Eric. He's looking directly at me, and as soon as I lock eyes with him, he looks away and just kind of turns away. So I'll connect that to Eric's engagement ring, I guess.
Well,
Could be a bad thing, but it could be a good thing. We don't know.
Yeah, I could be getting engaged.
he doesn't have his ring anymore. So are you then like talking to him? Like,
yeah. Afterwards, I would dismiss everyone and then go move to talk to Eric.
okay, somebody want to play Eric?
I would say in the scenario that I might have to interact with him, it probably shouldn't be me.
Yeah, probably not.
I can do it.
Okay.
So I dismiss the crowd and I move too quickly to catch Eric. Mr. Easton, hold up a minute.
Yes, Mr. Mason. What did you need something from me?
No, can we talk though?
Sure.
Look, things haven't gone well today. I assume not for either of us.
No, absolutely not.
What'll you do after here?
That's what will I do career-wise, or what will I do with the rest of my day?
Career-wise, where are you going next?
That's hard to say. I was gonna follow Violet wherever she is going to go next. That was my thought.
Ah. Remind me, do I know there was anything between Violet and Eric?
They were
I'm
dating.
trying
I
Pretty
just don't
openly.
remember if Matthew knew this or if this was something kept secret.
They
It
were kind of
was-
like in a secret relationship. I'm trying to remember who knew about it.
Yeah, I think the actual like question that was an answer to was like, what secret does the queen know and why does she keep it for you or something like that. So I think it was a secret.
Yeah, I think the one person who may have known was Katie, but I could be wrong.
No, it was Brock.
Brock, yeah.
Brock, that's right.
So in that case, Matthew cocks his head a little bit. Oh, Violet. Are you too close?
He kind of shrugs, realizing he's made a mild bit of a mistake, and he's like, well, she's one way or another, close or not, she is my in.
Well, just be careful. Ends are fragile things, as we've learned today.
He kind of nods and also looks suspiciously like back at you, kind of the same way you're looking at him.
I'd reach out my hand to shake his. Feel free to let me know if you need another in, Mr. Brock. And remember,
He hesitates momentarily.
I'll wait for him to see if he shakes my hand or not.
He hesitates momentarily before doing one of those like slow reaching and shaking your hand finally.
And as we shake, just remember, Mr. Brock, we can't. Or what was it? What was his name? I was blanking for a second.
Mr. Easton.
Or Easton.
Mr. Easton. Don't talk about anything that's going on, not to the press. And if you know anything, tell it to me. Have a good day, Mr. Easton.
Kind of like rolls his eyes a little bit, like, do you think I'm new? I've been doing this for a bit, but lets go of your hand and is like, I will keep that in mind. Thank you, Mr. Mason, as he walks off to go likely attempt to comfort Violet.
Now you have to escalate or destroy a lead. So you gotta deal with your misses.
True. I have to damage myself and destroy a lead.
Yeah. So damage your condition governing this investigation roll. So that's mind.
Alright, so I ain't as sharp. Now I'm just calm.
Yeah. And then we need a card. Can we get a card drawn? And we just need the suit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We've got diamonds.
Diamonds. Hotel.
Ooh, interesting. So you will destroy a lead, either Eric's engagement ring or Eric himself.
Oh no! Wait. So what is it
destroy-
entailed if I destroy Eric himself?
It could be that he like left town.
You would break two people's hearts.
Yeah.
I want Eric gone, man. I think he's out of here.
And
Oh,
My beloved.
the thing to know here is that you can't use a destroyed lead to solve a question unless you're from that district. So only Violet would be able to use Eric if he's destroyed.
I'm okay with that. I think that makes sense.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and cross out Eric?
No.
Mr. Mason scared Eric out of town.
So, who wants to do our next scene?
I have an idea. So I think after getting out of the shed, Brock would go back to the hotel because it's been hot outside and he wants air conditioning. But on his way to the hotel, he's thinking like, what? Why would somebody kill Veronica? Because like, yes, she's kind of a shitty person, and yes, she's like messed up some people's careers, but at the same time, she made a lot of people money. Maybe there's something she was doing that even Brock didn't know about. So he thinks he's gonna go to her hotel room since he has a key to it anyway, because she wanted him in her room all the time. I think he's gonna go check out her room
Oh.
because only Matt needed an invitation to her room last time. But
Yeah,
Brock
Brock would
was invited
totally.
there all the time. What would be the challenge, I guess?
I mean, it seems easy enough to like open the door, like you can get in the hotel because you sleep there. You can get in her
Right.
room. I think. I don't see any like impediment there.
Ooh,
What if there's
I
someone in the room already who we don't know?
Cleaning lady.
or we haven't heard from Daddy Vanderbilt yet, and his daughter just died.
Oh, what if he came as a surprise and was like waiting for Violet to get back from her exploits?
Yeah. Do you think so?
Or
Where?
he just was called about Veronica's murder and just got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just flew in from like a movie set in Spain or something like that.
He's in the lobby.
You think the lobby is where Brock runs into him?
Just demanding to be let into her room.
Or just demanding a room?
It's very much like the "don't you know who I am" spiel.
Yeah. I'm sorry, sir. We only have like 10 rooms and they're all taken up already.
I don't know why, but I threw on like J.K. Simmons' voice for a second there for him.
Ian, do you want to be Victor?
I would, but I feel like Mason and or Matthew and him are going to be
similar.
in conversation.
Yeah,
I
could be
think
Victor.
I was gonna say through process of elimination, I think it kind of has to be you, M.
Yeah, he's not going to talk to Katie. Yeah, so I think he, he's standing at the desk, like, luggage piled around him. Probably has, like, well, does he have no, he probably has, like, the taxi driver there, or, like, car driver, like, brought his stuff in.
Oh, the bellhop.
I think there's a bellhop. Yeah, okay, bellhop. I like a bellhop. The whole outfit, too, and a little hat.
Of course.
But he turns around and, like, looks frustrated, angry, jet lagged, and sees Brock. And of course he recognizes Brock because Brock's worked on a ton of Veronica's films.
Mm-hmm. Been her leading man a couple times now.
So he turns and, like, half-heartedly smiles. He's like, Brock Budwhyser.
Ah, Mr. Vanderbilt. Good to see you again. I'm sorry on such horrible circumstances.
Yeah, this is a shit show in every direction.
And it must be real hard losing a daughter. She was such a gem to all of us.
Kind of like sniffles, wipes at his eye. She was my Veronica. Brock, they're running me around, not giving me a room. They're working on it. Why don't you come get a drink with me? Tell me what's going on here. Catch me up. I need somebody to talk to.
Gladly, Mr. Vanderbilt.
So I was going to say the challenge here could be if you want to ditch him and still get up to the room, he's going to try to, like, drag you away.
Oh. I was just gonna have like a couple drinks with him and then try to do the investigation a little drunk, but
I like that too.
The challenge is how well can Brock hold his liquor.
The challenge is how well he can do that and walk in crutches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Oh
like-
no.
Probably some
Oh
painkillers on
no,
top of it.
buddy.
So yeah, I like you'll have to take Mr. Vanderbilt somewhere because he doesn't know this town, but there's probably like a little bar that the cast has been hanging out at.
Yeah, a little saloon.
Or is there a hotel bar?
Yes,
We said
for
it was
sure.
a fancy hotel.
Yeah.
They'd probably have like a I'm trying to think of what it's called, but it's like the area where there's like a bar and like a couple pool tables, but like it's really
Mhm.
classy.
And it's probably
billiard
like
room.
closed right now, so he has to like berate the bellhop into like being a bartender.
Just like, oh yes, sir, right away, sir.
What? How do we want to characterize like the state of Victor Vanderbilt? Is he really like torn up about his daughter's death? Is he like focused on business stuff?
Yes, and
Yes, and all right. Yeah,
I
so
think
probably like
yeah, it's like definitely like thinking about like the business stuff like on the back burner, but like at the end of the day, this is like his baby girl.
mhm,
Does he like compensate his pain by talking business?
maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he like gets overly emotional and then pulls it back in and starts asking Brock about like what's going on with this movie set and complaining about how he didn't know anything about this disaster that's going on. And he can't believe that nobody like clued him in on it. Yeah.
and Brock the
so-
whole time is just like, no, it wasn't a disaster. She's a genius.
That's probably also like he's trying to find out if this film is any good. 'Cause there's
How
Yeah.
far
this
did we
debate.
get into filming before she was murdered?
Good question. There was enough that Katie was like releasing finished or nearly like edited footage.
Yeah. And Brock was still going to be able to be in the movie even though he got hurt. So,
What if
Yeah.
it was just like we got most of it done, but it was just like the final scene that needed to be filmed, and that's sort of like our epilogue going into
Mhm.
the
The most important scene.
yes.
Right. What's our challenge roll?
Holding his
I-
liquor.
So body?
oh, good.
Oh, you're hurt. Um,
Good.
is it body? Is it mind? I don't know.
It's for reputation. How much liquor can you hold?
Or like how ooh. Like we said we had to berate the bartender. I mean the bellhop to be the bartender. What if Brock just steps in and does it? I mean, he had to do something before he was
Oh
acting.
yeah. Uh-huh. So are you trying to get like Victor super drunk so you can get away?
Absolutely.
All right. Is that mind? Is that heart? What is that?
Gosh.
Drugging other people. What is that?
Drugging? He wants to get drunk. I'm just trying to make sure he drinks more than me.
It could be rep, like you're chatting him up. Like I think a bartender
Yeah.
role is rep.
Yeah.
Yes. Bartender role.
Is that your +1?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna roll the opposition.
So I do 3, right?
2.
Oh,
For
2.
the challenge roll, you're just doing 2. I rolled
I don't
low.
get the +1.
That is the +1. Normally you would just roll 1.
It's just 1. Right. Whee! Oh, what?
Ooh.
Just barely.
It took so
Yeah.
long to switch from the 6 to the 3.
Yeah, the dice
Oh.
roller here is really like traumatizing. So you're above, but you're not above by 2. So you can take a bargain if someone offers a bargain that will injure one of the conditions. Anybody have an idea for that?
I don't want to hurt Brock more, but if he's trying to out or like still drink along with Victor, then there's a chance that he could still be getting drunk.
That would also affect his mind, though, if he's a bit drunk.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Or his reputation. That also could get.
That's true. That's very true.
If he's like acting out of turn in front of like
the man who owns Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also make an argument for Hart that he's like hearing Victor like pour his heart and soul out about everything that's going on. Did Brock do enough to protect his little girl?
Is
no.
Victor the man to pour out his heart and soul, though?
Well, I think as he gets drunk.
Fair.
Yeah, because that could be like more of like the investigation part of it. Or, well, if it's trying to get away from him by making him drunk, then no. I mean, there could also be some guilt surrounding the fact that like this man is clearly having a hard time and you're just kind of trying to get away from him.
I'm just pushing more hurt onto this man.
Yeah. I like it. Do you want to offer injuring Hart?
Sure. That gives me a success, right? What if I don't take it?
And you just have a failure on it, and that gives an extra opposition die. A success will give you a bargain die.
All right, I'll take the bargain. We're just gonna feel guilty. He's definitely gonna feel guilty about this move anyway, so.
Cool. But he slips away, and gets up to Veronica's room. You think there's anything there that we need to deal with, or you just go ahead and make your investigation roll?
I mean...
do you, as Daddy Vanderbilt, want to spill any tea while we're here?
I don't think like he knows anything useful that we know of. I mean, unless the dice say otherwise. Like, he just got here.
Okay.
So... investigate?
If you're like searching the room, probably mind.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a reason why somebody would want to kill her. Like maybe looking through her journal or something to see if she did anything real horrible recently.
Okay. So that's going to be just 2 dice for you to roll, 3 dice for opposition, and 1 bargain die.
Okay.
Who wants to roll the opposition?
I can do it.
I did it.
It's what?
Ooh,
4?
That's good. 3.
3.
And then you get 1 bargain die.
I can do the bargain die.
Oop. We got a 1 in there.
Okay.
I don't want to die.
Yeah. Yeah, that bargain die.
It would be really funny. It would be really funny for me to die here, but
yeah.
Also, I like Brock too much.
So you got 6, 5, 1 on the opposition, a 6 and a 5 for the protagonist, and then a 1 on the bargain die. Which is not helpful in any way.
Okay. So I'm gonna.
So your options are, you probably want to put the 5 on the 1 so you don't die. With your
Probably.
6, you could either knock out the 5 and just be fine, or you could put it on the 6 and break your thing, break your principle, and that would count as a win. If you don't want to destroy another lead.
I'm so few.
Well, it's escalate or destroy, right? What does escalate do?
Escalate makes one of the districts escalated, which means that like things are going bad there. If you end up with 3 escalated districts, then the game is over in a bad way and you don't solve the mystery.
Okay.
Oh no.
That's good
and
to know.
You could end up drawing a club here and have to escalate Tent Town because there aren't any leads.
Yo, but if you get a diamond and escalate it, then that just means that Eric was murdered.
Right?
No, not my boy.
So what do you want to do? Bad stuff first or good stuff first?
Let's do bad stuff first.
Okay, so you got 5, which means you're going to damage a condition. Damage mind, because that's the one that you rolled. And
No, wait. Why did I get a 5? Oh,
You know, got a
oh no,
6.
sorry. Yeah, that's right. No, you succeeded. Oh, so yeah, you only got the 6. So draw a card. Look at the district that shares its suit. Yeah, we need a card.
Diamond.
oh God.
I'm getting there. That's a heart.
Warehouse
Okay.
soundstage.
So please don't destroy Katie.
We're
No, you can if you want to.
escalating the warehouse. We're not actually destroying any of this stuff, right?
No, because there are leads associated with the warehouse, you have to destroy one of the leads.
Oh, okay. So if there was nothing there, that's when it would escalate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm destroying the prop gun.
Okay.
Then. So do I just put an X through it?
Yeah, you can just cross it out. Why? I wonder what. Maybe we'll figure out what your wins are here, but I don't know why your investigation would destroy the prop gun as a lead.
I don't know. I don't know why the warehouse would be like.
Yeah. Weird.
What if you found the script, or the newest version of the script for Love is Murder, and it gets rid of the prop gun as
Oh,
a
that's a
weapon
good.
in the movie?
Yeah, it's not even a prop that we're gonna be using, so it's just stored at the warehouse. Has nothing to do with the movie now.
Yeah, because we know that the movie itself, or the murder itself, happened offsite.
Yeah, on an actual filming thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it could also just be not actually a consequence of what you're doing, but the prop gun is gone. It's missing now from evidence. I don't know.
Oh, that could work too.
Because I can actually
Well-
still use it, because that's my I could use that to connect.
Yeah, so it's just missing. Then can we just say it's missing?
Yeah. So you also get to add a random lead or connection and find an answer or add and connect a lead.
So I think I'm gonna add something.
So you can draw a random card to put a lead up there, or you can make a string between 2 leads that are already there.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna add something. So draw a card.
Yeah, draw a card.
Okay.
Do you want a person, place, or thing?
I want a person because I'm looking for the why.
Okay. That's a 5 of spades.
5 is a salesperson or industrialist.
Oh, so Matthew.
And spades is the off-site scenes. And I figure out some way to interpret that. Salesperson or industrialist.
I think it's just really funny that you immediately were like, oh yeah, Matthew, of course.
Oh no.
I had a thought.
Huh?
Maybe the farm office has in the past been used as a wedding venue rather than a shooting scenes place. And the person who runs it and rents it out could be a part of it somehow.
Oh yeah.
That's a possibility.
You could also interpret it as screenwriters often have to sell their scripts. So it could be Annie, or it could be our good friend, the scorned Patrick Pope. Annie's
Ooh.
mentor.
The script you find has Annie's name on it. Whoa.
Yeah, it does.
Even though
She's
it's
the
already
one
been
that wrote the
established that she wrote
movie.
the movie.
Yeah, Patrick Pope could be like he's not writing anymore, but he's selling others like he's like behind the scenes in the business now.
Ooh.
I don't know, guys. I think it's pretty clear that it was just Matthew
All
was
right.
seen arguing
No,
in
no,
the
hold
barn
on, wait
with.
a second.
Put him
wanna
on the
speak to my brother.
board.
Yeah. I don't think we can put other player characters on the board unless they roll that they go up on the board.
Oh, really?
Oh no.
I
I mean, hey,
I
Matthew's
don't
kept
know.
his contacts vague. Maybe you just find a vague letter speaking from someone that you
But
don't know
he's
who it is.
suspected already.
I think that's like a group decision.
Matthew doesn't want to
I'm
go on the board. Matthew wants to stay in the sidelines and sneak in the shadows.
I think we should play by the rules, though, if we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I didn't know we weren't supposed to do that. I thought we were just allowed to add stuff.
I can't say that it says that you can't do that, but I'm just thinking since there is a mechanic that puts a player character on the board, I don't know.
I mean, you could say you found a vague letter that would be something from a salesperson or someone like that that could be similar to what Matthew would write. Maybe you don't know who wrote it.
You found a receipt from like Home Depot or something for lassos. Just a bunch of rope.
The door-to-door lasso salesman.
And it's just a suicide. That's sad.
No.
Because it's got to be a person.
Do you want to see what the place or thing would have been?
Sure.
The thing is a key, and the place is apartment.
Neither of those make much sense either.
No.
I'm trying to think of what like a key could go to.
I feel like you would have to go to because it's on the off-site stuff. It would either be like somewhere in the ranch house or a key to something else.
Or what if I found out that Veronica, because Veronica's making this movie independently, right? She hasn't sold it to any major movie publishing place. Like, she's independently getting this made. What if she, has a seller that wants to buy it for, like, a film festival or something?
Interesting.
What if she's found the person who will air it for her?
To throw this out here as an option too, the key grip is the person in a film crew who is in charge of the camera equipment.
Yes.
Whoa.
If we did want it to be a letter from a distributor, though, what if it was like someone like directly in competition with her father, which is like why?
Ooh, even better. Yes, that. Yeah, that.
All right, put a sticky note up there. How is this associated with the off-site scenes? Was she meeting this person?
She was meeting them, yeah, for sure. Meeting them at the farm office.
Meeting their representative or something.
Yeah.
That way we can keep it vague enough that it could be one of us.
Why didn't my type get, invisible?
I can see it.
I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you also get to find an answer or add and connect a new lead.
Ooh, find an answer. We kind of did just find this one answer, sort of, maybe.
Well, you can You can only make an answer out of the 3 connected leads that we already have.
Oh, I see.
We need more connections.
We do need more connections. So I could add and connect another lead, or just
Yeah, like make one up and connect it to something. That's for your
Dope.
6.
Eric is gone. The gun is gone. There's an engagement ring.
You could still connect something to Eric and the engagement ring because Violet can still use Eric to make an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Same with the prop gun.
Yeah.
Tent Town has no leads yet.
True.
I actually like the other answer that I don't remember who said it, but like he's reading this newest version of the script and it has Annie's name on it. So this must be the final draft that only Annie knows the outcome of the end of the movie.
Oh.
So she's the only one who knows if it's actually good. So the final script.
You found like an actual copy?
I found like a copy of it, yeah.
Well, what are you connecting it to?
I'm gonna connect it to the farm office because that's where the final scene happened.
Y'all, the fire alarm in my dorm is going off.
Okay.
Oh no!
I'm about to be out of here.
Okay.
Oh no!
I will be back maybe eventually later.
Okay.
Do we need to pause recording?
I'm
What was that? Oh, okay. She's gone. Well, I was thinking we would finish this game tonight, but man, I underestimated our ability to like talk about stuff.
We're really good at it.
Yeah.
We love
like
that.
For the Queen was supposed to take an hour.
We took 3.
Yeah, we did. So I think we're gonna have to pick this up again sometime anyway. But yeah. And it was Annie's turn for a scene.
I know, what terrible timing.
What do you all think of this game so far?
Very
It's a fun game.
It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. This game was also meant to be played in one session, but I don't know how that would happen. We don't even have an answer yet. A single answer.
We'll just, I know, right? It's taking a little while to get our plots going. But we've got good elements here.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. We almost have the why.
Mhm.
So close.
Eric
She was
Easton's
almost about to
disappeared.
be successful.
What was that?
She
I
was
said we
almost
have Eric.
about to be successful. Oh, sorry.
True. No, go ahead. Someone stop.
I was just saying Veronica was almost about to be successful. That could be a big reason of why somebody wanted to murder her. But
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the idea that like the perception on the outside is just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be really bad. But like the upset of her being actually really successful would be like really screwy to like the industry as a whole.
yeah, exactly.
And I mean, if she separates from her father, then that could be a problem for the name and the family.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, why did Eric disappear?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Just gone.
Who knows that he's disappeared too?
You say no one knows?
Or who knows is the question.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to
Yeah,
RP that.
I feel like Violet would definitely know, because like we kind of established that he was gonna go off to comfort her, and then just the fact that he never showed up.
Yeah. Yeah, she would be like the first to know that something's up. Do y'all want to like wait a few minutes and see if Chloe hops back on? Or do you want to like just call this a first session and then we'll have to come back with Scream Queens 3? What do you think?
Scream Queens 2.22.
Yeah.
The second.
Scream Queens 2.5.
The second coming.
I'm okay with doing this some more another time because I feel like there's still a lot of things to get connected.
Yeah, we're gonna have to anyway. I mean, we don't have to do anything, but we're not gonna finish this game tonight.
And if it's a fire alarm that she has going off, that could be a problem. She might not get back from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we need like a dramatic cliffhanger ending? Is there something else that could happen in Brock's scene?
The door could open and the bellhop brings Mr. Vanderbilt in the room because it's the only room that's not vacant or not.
Oh no, they wouldn't
people.
put him in his dead
Eric
daughter's
walks
hotel
in.
room.
Wait. Can I? So we find ourselves in the lobby of the hotel. The concierge comes up to a slightly drunk Victor Vanderbilt and is just like, "Oh, sir, I know we previously stated that we were at full occupancy. However, we've had a last minute someone cut their stay short and so the room is available." And then Brock, looking out the window from Veronica's room, sees Eric getting into a taxi.
Ooh, that's good.
Is he by himself or is there someone with him?
Eric, no.
He is by himself.
Ooh, Eric, what you hiding?
Ooh. Who you running from, Eric?
Suspiciously casts a glance over his shoulder before hopping in the cab.
And Violet in her room, just crying. She has a Dear John letter. Oh, yay, Chloe's back.
You made it back.
Why the fuck would they decide to have a fire drill during midterm week?
The fire drill?
That was a drill. There was no need for any of that tomfoolery.
Oh man, we were so we were fully preparing to be like, oh gosh, I guess we gotta come up with a cliffhanger.
No, y'all are chilling. It's good. I should be back now.
Hooray!
No more idiocy decides to happen.
We're now just giving future M a lot of things to edit out. It's all good.
So we did come to the realization that we're not going to finish this game tonight. So, do you want to do an Annie scene and then we'll call it episode 1 and come back again?
Why the heck not?
And then at least everybody will have gotten a scene.
Yeah.
Gotta get an Annie scene too.
Yeah.
I did have kind of an idea to bring Patrick into this because I feel like he needs to be included because we found just the best description of him. I want to say he's from a town close by to the one that we're in, and had heard through the massive bombardment of press that she was filming a movie there and understands that I still work on the movies and is like, hey, we should go catch up somewhere. So I kind of tell him to meet me in Tent Town so that we can all talk about life.
And for the listeners, Patrick Pope is the screenwriter who was ruined by Veronica in our For the Queen game. He didn't have a name then, so.
Mm-mm.
So, do you think this is concurrent with the other stuff that's happening? Is this like the afternoon after the murder?
Probably. I would say it's like right after Matthew addresses most of Tent Town.
Was Patrick like there, like peeking in through the back of the tent?
He might have been loitering a little bit. And as far as what I would be investigating or like trying to find out through this, I think it'd be like I like the thinking like why? Like maybe there was something that happened that he didn't tell me about, or like information that he knows that other people might not about the character of Veronica or the character of Matthew.
Okay.
Everybody's trying to pin it on Matthew. Yeah, I could see like two screenwriters getting together and just like running through it as though they were writing this story.
Yeah.
Like you're not even actually like looking at anything or looking for anything, but just like,
Ooh, what if
bouncing.
it's like a thing of like, storytellers are very good at like seeing through lines and stuff like that. So it's just like them going through like mysteries and being like, oh yeah, like if this happened, that's like a classic mystery trope kind of thing.
Like if I was writing this, the film rep would be a red herring.
Exactly.
So I don't know how many of these things y'all actually know about because our characters have like not actually talked to each other.
We'll have to do a segment where they all come together for a minute or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Ian, are you playing Patrick?
Sure, I'll play Patrick.
So Annie is walking out of the tent towards the back of it after Matthew's grand speech, and is kind of like smiling as she sees Patrick's head like in the doorway of the tent. Like, oh, he heard everything.
Well, looks like they kept that little punk around. Hi, Annie.
Oh, hi, Patrick. It's been far too long.
How are you doing?
Just trying to save my own name and keep my head above water with stuff that's gone down on these sets with the many years that I've been working with. Well, you know how they are.
Yeah. He looks back over towards like the tent, into the tent. Hollywood's a vicious little landmine. That man doesn't help. Wanna step out? Get something to eat?
That sounds amazing. It's been a while since I've been at home.
Well, we're glad to have you back. Have you gone in to see your family yet?
I went and saw Asher the other day. My brother. You remember Asher? I went and saw him the other day. He seemed to be doing pretty well, newly engaged. Yeah, I've seen a couple of them.
Oh, good for him. Good for them.
Did you hear about what happened?
It's hard to keep a secret in a small town. Things are buzzing around, no matter what that old fool says. Word's is getting out.
Technically, I haven't signed a non-disclosure yet. So,
Well,
I think it'd be kind of fun to run through some of the details.
we haven't had a brainstorming session in a long time, Annie. Care to spill some tales and string some webs?
That sounds like a brilliant idea. And they'll like wander off to like a local restaurant, and Annie will like fill him in on all of the things that have gone down since he got booted off set that like might have connections or tie-ins here and there, and it's just like really nerding out about it. I'm trying to think about like what our challenge role would be for this.
Yeah. Because the conversation is kind of the investigation role. What can we throw at Annie here?
I mean, does
Maybe-
Patrick say something he shouldn't know about? Or yeah, go ahead if you have another idea.
I was just gonna say, like, it's still like they're in town, like probably at like a diner or something, hashing this out. So like, I think there has to be like a level of like, they have to be discreet about what they're talking about.
Kind of thinking something along the same lines. Like you kind of have to keep it a little bit hush hush.
That makes sense.
I feel like that would be to help myself here. I feel like that would be like a mind roll to like be checking my surroundings and making sure that I'm not getting too wrapped up in the conversation that I start to raise my voice or say things I shouldn't.
Seems reasonable to me.
Okay, so that's what we're going with.
Yeah. Maybe like
the move.
just to color it, maybe like the deputy and another police officer like come in and are sitting down at the bar of this diner within earshot. So you specifically have to not be noticed by that.
I was kind of thinking something along those lines too.
Yeah. So do you have two
Okay.
white dice for that?
I do.
Right.
I do indeed.
I'll roll
Ooh.
your opposition.
Oh, great.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
no.
a 6 on the opposition die, and your highest is a 3, so that's a hard fail.
That is obnoxious.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's even like, do you think that the two of you even pick up on the fact that you're being overheard?
Probably not.
I don't think Patrick does either.
Yeah. So yeah, I think one of the cops up at the counter just has their ear tilted in your direction and see what your investigation roll does.
Cool. Alright. And I roll 3 dice for that?
What do you think that's mind again?
Probably, connecting.
I
the
don't mind
dots.
a reputation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ooh.
with the cops, would it be reputation?
Well, they're hearing you no matter
Hmm.
what. So this is just like the conversation between the two writers.
Then it's
Um,
definitely mind.
Yeah. And it's because you lost that one, it's 4 dice on the opposition. Whoever wants to roll that. I've been rolling too good, so I don't want to roll the opposition dice again.
I'll go for it.
And I get 3 dice for mine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
3,
Oh
4.
my
Ooh.
god.
That's
And I put the highest
bad.
ones. Oh,
Yes.
Jesus. I put
Yeah.
the highest.
Hey.
2 6s and a 5.
We have just
For
a
the
terrible
audience at home.
offsetting roll. But we got 2 6s as well from
Yeah,
Chloe.
Annie's got 2 6s. So you could put one of your 6s against the 5 and then lose the other 2 6s, or you can break your principle and your ties become wins. So you could make both of those. You could beat both of the 6s if you wanted to. If you want to break your principle.
How would I even do that in this scenario? Oh, I don't like this.
I mean,
What was your principle?
My principle was never harm another.
Ooh.
you could make him admit out loud that he'd love to kill Veronica. Like,
I mean,
I
he
cannot do
probably
that.
isn't subtle in his conversation. You might just not respond or react in time to clarify
could also-
things.
Maybe since the cops are listening, you could incriminate someone else.
Ooh.
ooh.
What does breaking my principle do me any harm?
Basically, when we do the epilogue, if you break both of your principles, then like it's a lot of bad stuff happening. With one, you just have one kind of negative narration at the end.
I didn't know we were supposed to have two.
Oh yeah, you have two. No, you have
right,
two.
okay.
You only have one principle, but you can break it twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I think if I'm gonna do that, this is a good opportunity to do it.
Yeah, because you're getting
Yeah.
two. You could have. I guess you probably can't have two answers from that, but you can
Definitely get us some progress.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can mark one of those little dots on your character sheet under principal. Who are you hurting?
Who am I incriminating?
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I refuse to throw Patrick under the bus.
Patrick would throw himself under the bus.
Katie's already in custody. If you want to
Oh, but Katie was
incriminate.
our little buddy.
Okay, I feel like the thing is that I feel like the person that Annie would be the most likely to attempt to incriminate is Matthew because she doesn't like him.
Yeah, that's
Well,
fair.
you could always play along with the movie angle because we know the motive is done via movie, or at least are we aware of that? I don't know who is aware that it was.
Yeah, Katie was the one who found that out, but I mean, it's abstract.
Her and Veronica. So yeah, never mind. Ignore what I was saying.
Or, Violet found out that Alassa was involved in the murder.
Yeah. Who is like the most likely suspect from a like the point of view of writing a good script? Like who would be the
I mean,
like
you would break it down either to love interests or enemies specifically. If Patrick were to break down like scripts he's written, it's usually either a love interest or an enemy of some kind, or someone who's been wronged.
Yeah. To argue for Katie again, Annie did see Katie leave Veronica's office in tears and then like leave set for however many weeks.
That's fair, and nobody really knew where she went.
Yeah.
No, we just know that stuff of the movie was released when
Okay, so
Katie disappeared.
Annie kind of sighs heavily, and she's like, I don't want to believe that it could have been Katie, but the kids seem to have an obsession. I could not do anything to deter her from what she was, how involved she was with Veronica, how obsessed she was. I couldn't do anything to deter her from it. I hate to say it, but the most likely suspect seems to be Katie.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Let's hear what you figured, what leads you made. So you can, on each of your sixes, you can either find an answer or add and connect a new lead.
Okay.
And you're also going to damage one of your conditions for that 5 also.
Yeah. Finding new leads in this type of a conversation where we don't actually do anything but just like speculate.
I love it.
Well, we could look to movies and see like what similarities from what we know to the situation to what we can make up some movie examples from the list.
Oh yeah. Well, and we okay, theoretically both of our characters also wrote all of these movies.
Yeah.
Correct.
We know all of the
all
ins
of
and
them,
outs.
but I think Patrick wrote, what did we say? The Pit and Surgery
The teeth
Sugar?
one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Surgery Sugar was kind of like the damning thing for him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He was there for like her earlier years, I would assume.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. Surgery Sugar was her like coming of age, like her no longer a child actor thing. And also, this says create a lead from scratch and connect it, but I think if you wanted to draw a card, like, that's fine.
Since I'm kind of stumped, I think I am gonna do that.
Person, place, or thing.
I think I'm gonna go with a thing. 7 of spades.
Ooh. The disguise.
T.
Associated with the off-site scenes again. Disguise.
There's a lot of stuff going on
costume.
with the offsite scenes.
Yeah.
Do.
Well, I mean,
Really
it's a
is.
film set. It makes sense that there's costumes there.
Yeah.
True.
What if, like, from knowing about the reference to the murder in the other movie, if you come to the conclusion that the murderer probably would have worn the costume from that movie?
Oh.
So it's like a hypothetical costume.
True.
That's creepy. Like, basically, like, recreating one of her movies to kill her.
It also makes
don't
sense
know.
why you would throw Katie under the bus because she was obsessed and knew all her movies.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Katie one time being like, hey, you want to see my Blood Loop cosplay?
Look at this red lasso I have.
I kind of like gasped for a moment and I'm like, oh my gosh, no, that makes so much sense. We're in the exact same type of setting as Bloodloop took place in. What if someone decided to play some type of a sick joke? I'm not quite sure what the motive would be yet. What if somebody decided to play some type of a sick joke and like went through and watched everything that she'd ever done and recreated one of those scenes? What if the murderer stole one of the costumes from the set, or they had it already, or... So, adding, like, what type of a costume, though, would it have been? Would it have been, like, a legit cowboy costume? Like a bandito type thing?
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
Bandana's good for
scary,
hiding your face.
like a scary cowboy.
A possessed scarecrow.
Ooh, oh no.
Oh. I hate it. Let's do it.
Was that
Awesome.
the enemy of Bloodloop? Was a possessed scarecrow?
Absolutely.
So you could put that lead, put a sticky note up and connect it to something.
Okay. Possessed scarecrow. What would I connect that to?
To lasso or wounds?
I feel like the blood loop makes most sense. It's the most direct.
Yeah, okay. Connection line. This thing.
Does that mean we have an answer if there's like 3 connections to that one sticky note, or?
No, but Annie can make an answer right now.
I likely will do that.
That's a great complicated line. Um,
I'm really bad at technology.
no, I like it.
Okay, cool. Alright, so that's the thing.
Yeah, so if you want to make an answer to one of the questions, which are why, how, and who. I don't think we're at who yet, but you'll just choose 3 connected leads, and we'll circle the 3, and those will make an answer for us.
Okay, I think I am gonna answer the how.
Yeah.
Because that seems to make the most sense. So it's just like sudden epiphany in her eyes, like, oh, if they were recreating Bloodloop, that means that it's likely that they dressed like that, and then they used some type of a lasso or a noose to. Oh, that's horrific. I thought that only happened in our movies. Huh. It had to. But yeah, that makes too much sense. And I also heard through the grapevine that the wounds were not typical.
Cool. All right. So we have an answer. So basically what happens is those leads can't be used to make another answer, but things can be connected through them. So like if the wounds connected to the final script, then you could use Veronica, final script, and farm office to make an answer. You can't use those leads again. But we have an answer. And I think maybe we see the two cops up at the counter get their food, share a knowing look, and walk out of the diner.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm just curious how Katie's gonna get out of custody.
I don't think she is at this point.
I mean, maybe she was already out and now they're going to be looking for her again. I don't know.
Ooh.
She uses her jujitsu skills to break out of prison.
That's what I was just about to say. You see her like leaping across the rooftops.
See, I really want it to not be Katie, though. We've built up a really good, like, oh, it's looking like it's Katie. It means if we set it up to be someone else, it's even better.
Right. Yeah, I think the writers would probably tell you that, like, at this point, it can't be Katie.
Wait, but then if it is Katie, it's even more of a surprise.
Wow. Double cross.
This sounds like something that people could theorize about in our comments section.
Yeah.
Can't wait to find out next episode.
Yep.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Can't believe I thought we were going to knock this out in one session. We
Nope.
got one answer.
We're too
Not with
talkative.
us.
Yep.
Just too
We
catty.
make things too complicated.
Yeah, it's good. I love it.
Complexity to the situation.
Last time I was like, we're going to play for the queen, but we need to find a way to stretch it out so it will fill up an entire podcast episode. But
Not
That
even
didn't turn out to be
necessary.
a problem.
Not
No,
with
it's
Not a
us.
struggle.
cool. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun, everybody. Until next time.
Until we meet again.
Ooh.
Let's solve a murder.